the resolution. Thank you. Yeah, that was cool on the fly.
Maybe people yeah, think about doors. The doors are always shorter. The width of the seats not being as wide as I expect them to
I usually
be.
look just one button.
It's hard when you're in between.
Nowadays bicycles have new kinds of seats.
They have the whole thing.
Yeah, they're designed to like sit on your foot bones, so it doesn't like dig in.
Makes you sore.
It's bad for bike riders actually sometimes suffer from
Yeah.
damage.
Nerve damage,
Nerve
yeah.
damage. Might explain a lot of
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Rob Reese,
Here.
Joe Michaels,
Here.
Keith Johnson,
Here.
Gary Ugometti,
Here.
Mark Lilly.
Here.
We need to vote on the minutes from last week. What's that? Basically, this meeting will be for us to make a decision on the public hearing that was held, so that there won't be a comment period. We will read the conclusions that we've come up with and submit it as a proposal. I was just handed this a minute ago, and they are asking here that I did logging on Crossroad Ventures property as if this had something to do with my decision one way or the other. This is really getting down to I am appalled that they would even come up with something like this.
Oh, no, what's that
But anyway, they pulled out all the stops as far as I'm concerned. I've worked on that property on and off for the better part of 40 years. A long time before Crossroad Ventures was heard of or thought of. And this was a continuation of that operation. Had absolutely nothing to do with Crossroad Ventures, except at the last time that we worked there over this period of time, Crossroad Ventures owned the property with Dean Gitter as a head. So if someone wants, just so it's in the record. Do you want to read the proposal?
Yeah, we got 5 pages, we got 5 minutes. I'll take the first page. Okay. This request for interpretation comes before the Town of Shandaken Zoning Board of Appeals Board from the October 6, 2016 decision by Honorable Richard Mott, JSC, in an Article 78 proceeding brought by Catskill Heritage Alliance Incorporated, Catskill Heritage, against the Town of Shandaken Planning Board and Crossroads Ventures LLC, directing the Planning Board to obtain this board's interpretation as set forth herein. The preliminary statement. Crossroads originally proposed a vacation resort / hotel development in the towns of Shandaken and Middletown in 1999, known as the Bel Air Resort at Catskill Park. This matter has a protracted procedural history. The application was the subject of an extensive review by the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation as lead agency under the State Environmental Quality Review Act, SEQR. That review commenced in 2000 and culminated in 2015 with a finding statement issued by the DEC on December 2nd, 2015. On October 28th, 2013, during the pendency of the SEQR review, Crossroads filed a site plan / special permit application with the Planning Board. On January 12, 2015, the Planning Board conducted a public hearing on the application and thereafter continued its review based upon the public comment. Finally, on January 14, 2016, the Planning Board granted special permit and site plan approvals for the following: High Mount Hotel and Spa, consisting of a central facility consisting of hotel units and suites with 27 lodge units identical to the hotel suites, together with 16 delegated lodge units for transient resort occupancy in 8 duplex buildings. Wild Acres Hotel is comprised of 250 units, including hotel rooms and suites, together with 163 detached lodging units located in 18 buildings consisting of multiple lodge and room units for transient stays, collectively referred to herein as the project.
The project will be located on a single consolidated lot, mandated as a condition of the approval, and will be managed by the operator of the hotels. Some of the lodging units are intended to be sold as timeshare interests, but the fee ownership will remain with the operator of the hotels. Catskill Heritage initiated an Article 78 proceeding challenging the Planning Board approvals. In the decision dated October 6, 2016, Judge Mott directed that the Planning Board, quote, request that the ZBA determine whether the proposed lodges and duplex are permitted under the Shandaken zoning code. And then follows a list of documents reviewed. In addition to the Planning Board file, the Zoning Board has been provided with the following documents for review. 1. November 14, 2016, letter from the Planning Board with the following attachments. Affidavit of Warren P. Tuck, sworn to March 17, 2016, with Exhibits A, dated May 18, 2000, application for interpretation, and June 15, 2000, Zoning Board interpretation concerning definition of, quote, vacation resort. Affidavit B, October 28, 2013, letter from Crossroads attorney submitting special permit and site plan application to Planning Board. Affidavit C, August 18, 2013, letter from Crossroads attorney requesting density calculations. And Affidavit D, that should be Exhibit D, November 10th, 2015, letter from Zoning Enforcement Office discussing density requirements. And then the decision order from Judge Mott dated October 6th, 2016. Second group of documents, November 16th, 2016, letter from Catskill Heritage Attorney with the following attachments. Town of Shandaken Planning Board Resolution dated January 13th, 2016. Catskill Heritage Article 78 petition. And the decision order dated October 6th, 2016 from Judge Mott. Third document, November 22nd, 2016, letter from Crossroads Attorney responding to item 2 above. Fourth document, December 21st, 2016, letter from Catskill Heritage Attorney. Fifth document, December 21st, 2016, letter from Kathy Nolan. The Zoning Board also conducted a public hearing on December 21st, 2016, at which 21 separate speakers presented their views, including the legal representatives for Crossroads and Catskill Heritage.
Discussion. This board is tasked with the question of whether lodges and duplexes are permitted under the Town of Shandaken zoning code, the code. The schedule of district uses is set forth in section 116-10. The project site is located in the R5, R3, and R1.5 zoning districts of the Town of Shandaken, which allow by special permit a vacation resort, in quotes, and, in quotes, a hotel, motel, or lodge development, end quote. The terms hotel and motel are defined in the code section 116-4. Hotel, a multiple dwelling or any part thereof which contains living and sleeping accommodations for transient occupancy and has a common exterior entrance or entrances and which may contain one or more dining rooms. Motel, a multiple dwelling intended for transient occupancy primarily by motorists, not over 2 stories in height, in which the exit from each dwelling or sleeping room is directly to the exterior, including but not limited to such terms as, quote, motor court, end quote, motor hotel, end quote, or tourist hotel, end quote. The terms lodge, end quote, duplex, end quote, and vacation resort, end quote, are not defined in the code, nor are the terms, quote, motor hotel, motor court, or tourist hotel, end quote. Section 116-110B of the zoning code states, quote, any use not listed specifically or through a similar use, boldface type, as such may be deemed by the Zoning Board of Appeals, end of boldface, as a permitted, special permit, or accessory use in the attached schedule shall be considered a prohibited use under this chapter, parenthesis, emphasis added. Accordingly, it is up to this board to determine whether the terms lodge and duplex are permitted uses or a similar use to any of the listed uses in the code. As an initial matter, this board finds that a lodge development necessarily includes lodges, end quote, and may include other uses as provided in the code. Catskill Heritage has urged that this board should determine that the lodge and duplexes are, in quotes, multiple dwellings, as that term is defined in the code. The code defines multiple dwelling as follows: dwelling, comma, multiple, a detached, semi-detached, or attached building or portion thereof containing 3 or more dwelling units. Okay, I'll keep going. The zoning code further defines a dwelling unit as dwelling unit, a building or entirely self-contained portion thereof containing complete housekeeping facilities for only one family, including any domestic servants employed on the premises, and having no enclosed space other than vestibules, entrances, or other hallways or porches, or cooking or sanitary facilities in common with any other dwelling units. A boarding house, dormitory, motel, inn, nursing home, fraternity, sorority, or other similar building, boldface on similar building, shall not be deemed to constitute a dwelling unit. Emphasis added. It is interesting to note that the exclusions form the definition of dwelling unit in quotes. Each of the listed exclusions provides, in this board's opinion, accommodations for what would be referred to as, quote, transient occupancy, end quote, rather than a permanent occupancy. Parenthetical, perhaps with the exception of a nursing home, close parenthesis. Additionally, based upon the directive of Judge Mott in his October 6, 2016 decision, this board is limited under its discretionary review to define similar uses to make a finding of whether a lodge and duplex, as proposed, are similar to any of the listed uses in the code. The question as of whether the lodges and duplexes were, quote, multiple dwellings, end quote, was also argued by Catskill Heritage in the Article 78 proceeding. Judge Mott determined that the, quote, parties' remaining contentions have been rendered academic by this determination or otherwise lack merit, end quote. Therefore, this board finds that the lodge and duplexes proposed are not multiple dwellings as defined by the code, as the exclusions apply to transient occupancy, and now turns to the question of whether they are similar to any of the listed uses in the code. The use provided in the code allows for, quote, vacation resort, end quote, and, quote, hotel, motel, or lodge developments, end quote. Therefore, lodges, in quotes, as a specific use are permitted under the code, and with respect to them, this board must determine whether the uses proposed fit within a reasonable definition of that undefined term. The project as proposed by Crossroads envisions a large complex providing recreational activities specifically geared for winter activity at the ski resort and seasonal recreational activity at the golf resort course to be constructed. The condition set forth in the planning board decision was that all of the individual lots are to be consolidated into one lot to be retained in common ownership by Crossroads. Crossroads will therefore retain ownership of the real property and will manage and lease the lodge and duplex units to guests who visit the resort. Good. Somebody read it.
Okay. When a term is not defined in the code, this board often results to a dictionary definition of the term. This board has reviewed the online Merriam-Webster dictionary to determine how the word lodge is defined as a noun. That definition is set forth as follows. Lodge, one definition, a crude shelter or abode. 2, a house set apart for residence in a particular season, as in a hunting season or hunting lodge. And B, a resort, hotel, or inn. The board then looked for synonyms for the word lodge and found the following. Lodge is also an auberge or caravanserai, a hospice, a hostel, a hostelry, an inn, a hotel, a public house, or tavern. The following words were listed as related words to the word lodge. B&B, bed and breakfast, guest house, apartment, hotel, accommodations, lodging, lodgings rest, court, motel, motor inn, motor lodge, resort, spa, tourist court, youth hostel, camp, campground, bunkhouse, dorm, dormitory, boarding house, lodging house, rooming house. The board also looked for the Merriam-Webster definition of duplex as a noun. Duplex is either a two-family house or a two-story apartment. In researching synonyms for the term duplex, the following were found. Duplex is a binary, bipartite, a double-barreled, double-edged, dual, double, twin, twofold. The dictionary term of lodge, a use permitted by the code, though undefined, clearly includes terms that are defined in the code, such as motel and hotel, and the related terms listed in the definition of motel as motor court and tourist court. The definition of duplex is more limited in that it seems to describe the type of building not the use of the building, since it can either be a house or apartment signifying permanent or temporary occupancy. Accordingly, this board finds that the term lodge, as used in the code, should be interpreted in the manner as proposed by the planning board, i.e., as including the detached buildings, including, for example, duplexes and front nine buildings, containing one or more units of lodging and sleeping accommodations or transient occupancy in connection with the special permitted use of hotel or lodge development and/or vacation resorts held under common ownership. Furthermore, this board finds that the term transient occupancy requires that users of the lodge units have another place of residence or abode, so that lodge units will not serve as primary residence. Dated Shandaken, New York, February 15, 2017.
You've all read it and understood it?
Yes, sir.
I'd like to propose as a motion to be accepted as its type.
I'll second.
Okay, Board Member Guglielmetti,
Yes.
Board Member Lodi,
Yes.
Board Member Michaels,
Yes.
Board Member Reese,
Yes.
Board Member Johnson.
Yes. Thank you all for your patience and your courtesy. I hope that everything will go on, continue now, hopefully relatively smooth. And best of luck to the resort people.
Mr. Chairman, would you welcome a resolution from this board accepting your leadership in this?
Excuse me?
Would you welcome a resolution from this board verifying the leadership in this regarding response to the letter challenging the
If you wish, that's fine.
So I'd like to suggest a resolution that we continue to accept Chairman Keith Johnson's leadership in regard to the Crossroads Ventures in spite of his logging activity with the Crossroads.
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you. Other next business?
We still need to accept the minutes from December. We still need to accept the minutes. A motion.
Make a motion to accept the minutes from the December meeting.
I'll second.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
No, we'll do new business.
No, we're no business.
No, we'll get that next month.
Make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
That's an easy one. Aye.
It's
No guns taken out.